All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you're having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible weekend. Good morning, Peter. How are you doing today?
I am mostly okay. My legs not so happy, but the rest of me doing good.
We got to talk about this before we get into all the madness. What? How did you make out, man? How 80 miles, right?
No,
Was it 8?
No, it was about 110 miles each way.
Oh.
So
wait, each way?
A little over 200 miles. I'll admit, didn't quite finish. We ran into thunder showers on the way back, and my legs were done, man. Like they were just done. So that's what you get for going out without practicing. But I'm impressed that I made it there, and it overall was pretty good. So. What can I share with you here? Here, look. So
and Peter, 200 kilometers or 200 miles? Like
no, 200
US miles.
It was 360 kilometers.
That is insane.
Yeah.
So look at that.
There was just along the road. There's a lot of good scenery, some nice lakes, and that was us in Kingston when we made it to Kingston with my buddy. So look, good
for you, man.
Alex on
you
the
got out
tree,
there, so
I said about 220 miles is what the distance was. 360 kilometers. Wow. Anyways, how we measured it was 320. Yeah. Anyways, I'm getting all the math. Doesn't matter. My brain is not working. I'm still trying to recover. I got to say, I rolled out. I've got all my rollers here. Like, oh, hold on. I got to get my camera back. 1 sec. I got all my rollers here, like this one that I've been using to roll my legs out, and I'm telling you, it's very painful, but instantly feels better. So if you haven't done that, I'm like protein shaking, I'm rollering, I'm just trying to get my legs back so I can walk without looking like I'm 90.
No, I absolutely, man. Wow! Congrats to you making an effort. Well, how many miles did you make though? How many miles did you do?
Well, we got so close. I honestly, starting the second day, like I was telling myself at the end of the first day, there's no way I'm going back. I'm just going to find a bus and I'm going to take a bus back. I am not doing it. And I got up the next morning and my buddy was very encouraging. And anyways, we got within 40 kilometers. So what is that? That's about 25 miles of the finish. But there was thunder showers and thunderstorms, and we'd taken like a 10-mile detour because we got lost. So we added an extra 10 miles, and by then we were just demoralized and wet, and there was like lightning and thunder, and we said, screw it. We're calling for like a medical evac.
It's not fun.
My buddy called his girlfriend, and she came and rescued us. So anyways, but we got close. Very, very close.
No, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah. Friends, quick look at our gappers list this morning as we get back into this great week of trade. We had a decent week last week. It was a lot of fun, a lot of events. Today we have a couple of things in the green, a few in the red. NVIDIA showing 90% off. But again, that is just timing, right? So it's not really down 90%. Right, there'll be a lot of people crying today. But no, that's just 9% because it's tracking Friday's last price, right, which is at 1,200 something, and today's at 120. So the split has been completed here, and that's going to be a lot of fun to trade. Tons of volume, 6.4 million shares traded. It's only down like 0.32%, so very low. Excellent, Peter. For today, any economic data as we start this week?
No, I mean, absolutely nothing. Today is a very quiet day. There's nothing scheduled on the economic calendar. So, it's really going to be probably all about whatever's on the gappers list, of which there's not much this morning. And, of course, NVIDIA, like you just mentioned. NVIDIA is the sort of the tail. We were expecting this stock split, so 10-for-1 reverse. So we're at 1/10 the price on Friday. Usually, like we said, it'll be interesting to watch NVIDIA, see what it does. Obviously, it's been so hot recently. having gone up to where it's hit. Normally, you see a little bit of a drop in the price after a stock split. So we'll see if that happens today, or if people think it's a bargain and it goes up. But one way or the other, I mean, certainly going to be in play with already 6.5 million shares traded. It's going to be moving one way or the other, especially now. New, more attractive price, right? If you ever wanted to trade it, now's your chance. So yeah, it'll be NVIDIA, and well, what about our buddy GameStop? Just before we get into the gappers, what's GameStop doing this morning? Because Friday at noon, we had Roaring Kitty did his first live YouTube broadcast in 3 years, and I gotta say, I was just incredulous. I mean, look, oh my God, GameStop's at $29 right now. Low end of the scale. Look, I like to think generally I'm a principled guy, but there's principles and there's folly. I get the fact that he's always been buy and hold. I'm going to hold on to my positions. I'm going to make it last. He showed at one point, and I wish I had kept somewhere. I've got a screenshot. He showed at one point his P&L, actually a couple of times, right? Posted on social media and then showed it live during that broadcast when he finally got on air, half an hour late, by the way. But and he held all of his positions. Also gave no interesting information, by the way. No analysts, no analysis, just random talking. But basically, over the course of Friday, he had lost unrealized gains. I'll get it, but lost over $250 million. His positions were up to almost 480 million or something like that. He was down to I think 140 million at the low. So that's over $300 million. I don't get it. I get that you want to be the buy and hold guy, but when you're up that much, whether it's his money or someone else's money, shouldn't you take some off the table? Isn't that just smart trading and investing?
I think there's more to it, man. I think that if you look at some people that they have, for example, let's take a look at politicians, right? If they say their position, Elon Musk, I don't think they can sell it right away after the price moves up like that. There's got to be something involved where there's got to be some kind of hold period.
He's got any restrictions? I mean, he's just like a common guy.
It looked weird, man. I don't know. Even the stream on Friday, you could tell he kept asking, "Can I say this?" So something happened where somebody spoke to him and said, "Hey, listen, you're about to go live with 30,000 viewers." Something went down. That was not what he planned. He started late, and you could tell he kept asking somebody next to him, like, "Can I say this? Can I review a chart?" It was like,
it could be.
This is not normal. It was weird, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to watch. I'll be watching it this week.
If there's one thing all of us can take from this, I would hope all of us here in the Bear Bull trading community. Thank you for being here, by the way. Roaring Kitty is fun to watch. This whole GME thing is fun. It's almost to me perfectly, exemplifying what we talk about not to do in our community, right? Because this is all about profitable trading over the long term. He's like the 1 in a million shot that just happened to have made a good bet. Again, I'll stick to my statement. If you go back and look at his original posting, while the stock has gone up crazily and he's made a ton of money, like literally hundreds of millions of dollars, nothing that he said was going to happen happened. Right? Like all of his analysis of the company and the basis on which he made his trade, none of it happened. He just got lucky that this stock just happened to get the attention and become a meme stock. And it's sort of proving that he's not sort of a regular trader and not a trader over the long term. What we want to do is be able to find regular opportunities we can take advantage of and make money out of. And that's what we're looking to try and, teach and have a community of like-minded individuals. So fun to watch, but really it's a good warning lesson, right? Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe this is just me being greedy, but if I was sitting on $500 million, I love you guys, but see ya, man. I am cashing out and I am gone.
I would do the same thing too. If I could, I'd do the same thing. Absolutely. Friends, speaking of GME, I'm going to put that on my entertainment pile because it's fun. Like you mentioned, it's fun, but just don't feel the need to trade it, like Peter was mentioning here. So, but GameStop will be on my list, obviously. And then we also mentioned NVIDIA. We'll put those two on there. NVIDIA is going to be fun. I think this thing is going to go even higher. There's going to be people jumping on this thing. We'll see. It'll be a lot of fun. 7 million shares traded so far this morning. So there'll be a
See the
lot of
play.
new traders in this. Yeah. Let's take a look at Love. It's on our gappers list. Start there. Love this morning up 8%, 734,000 shares traded. So we are getting some action out of it. This is Southwest Airlines. And any news on this? It seems like this morning they got going. Nothing overnight from the weekend. Let's take a look at it. Delta Airlines, nothing happening there. American Airlines. All right, so it seems to be an individual catalyst, Peter. What's going on here?
Yeah, there is an individual catalyst. So out there's some deep-pocketed people who like to sort of meddle in companies. One of those people is a guy who runs Elliott Investment Management. And Elliott Investment Management has taken about a $2 billion stake in Southwest Airlines, which is good, but they are what's called an activist investor, which means they usually like to go in there and shake up the board and want to usually promote different business approaches, want them to spend their money a little differently, and that can be challenging for a company. Sometimes it works and they've got great ideas and they drive good growth in a company. Sometimes it crashes and burns terribly, and then you get a board in turmoil, you get revolts on the board, you get executives that end up getting fired or leaving out of disgust. So we'll see what happens here with Southwest Airlines. But yeah, LA Investment, who took this big stake, is going to start meddling because you take a big enough stake, you usually get a seat on the board. So, anyways, we'll see what happens, and that's the news though that's moving Southwest this morning. So it's not industry wide, by the way. Sometimes when we get this news, like if they were announcing new earnings or something like that, you could see sympathy moves from the other airlines. In this case, I don't expect to see that at all today.
Yeah, pretty quiet besides the one individual pop here. We'll see what happens there. Let's take a look at the next one, CrowdStrike. And this does not trade very well. I usually don't watch it. To me, it's just the price action is very weird on it. And it tends to get lighter volume than usual. Today in play, obviously up 6.1. If you look at the last couple of days, an increase in volume with this huge drop we had. Was this last week or the week before? So big drop there all the way to 300. Gapped up against the 340. So again, a lot of big movements here up to 371. Peter, I don't recall what the news was last week. Anything happening into this week?
Yeah, there were earnings on CrowdStrike that we had talked about. That was back on the 5th. I don't see any news today, so I think this is, I don't know what's driving it. I mean, great jump up here, but like you said, typically it's not something I trade because it's a little harder to trade. Someone's saying that it's a SPY inclusion. Wait a second. You're right. Wow, look at that. So CrowdStrike, KKR, and GoDaddy are all going to join the S&P index, the S&P 500. So now that probably hasn't happened. Monday, June the 24th. Okay, so 2 weeks from now, CrowdStrike, KKR, and GoDaddy are all joining the S&P 500 index. So that makes a lot of sense. So that explains why CrowdStrike is jumping up. For anybody that hasn't experienced one of these moves before, by the way, when something is announced that it's going to join the S&P 500, that's usually a boon to the stock. It's a good thing because a lot of the indices, right, and a lot of the large players that are doing balancing funds and stuff now have to put CrowdStrike into their fund. So you just get a little more buying as people go and rebalance, and anything that gets taken off. So usually it's an S&P 500, right? So there's always 500 of them. So if 3 are going on, 3 are coming off, and the 3 that are coming off are Robert Half, Commercia, and Illumina, right? Do we know those 3? I don't, which is probably why they're coming off, right? They sort of fallen a little bit. They're not as influential in the market. So anyway, so we could expect Crowd, KKR, and GDDY, GoDaddy, to all see jump ups this morning as it's announced that they'll be joining the S&P 500 again in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from today.
I had no idea Robert Half was actually a public company. We used them a ton here in the U.S. I did a lot, hiring people through there. Did not know they were a public firm. Robert Half, yeah, they're pretty big as far as hiring down here. All right, so let's take a look here at GME. We looked at already. So we looked at Love, we looked at CrowdStrike, we looked at GME on the gap up list. Gapping down, we do have NVIDIA already on deck, so we'll skip on that one. Let's go over to PERI. This is Perion Network. It is down 27%. Definitely in play today. 605,000 shares traded. We do have shares for short. What's driving it, Peter?
Perry, not one of the ones I looked up. Perion Networks. Oh, this is an Israeli-based company. Always dangerous trading these companies, especially out of Israel. It looks like they reduced their guidance on the year. So they said that they're going to see a few business struggles in Q2 of 2024, and as such have reduced their guidance by about 5%. So that's what's got them gapping down this morning.
Yeah. Over on YouTube, Mina. No, that's not Andrew. It's probably we logged in as the wrong name, and then somebody just took the message off. Andrew's still in the mountains, and we should be hearing from him soon, I guess. So yes, that was not him messaging there. Yeah,
I hope he's.
I think they're running out of time.
The soon. Yeah,
yeah, they're running out of time.
I want to see how it's all gone for him and what's going on.
Yeah, so hopefully they get it done. All right, Perry, guys, dropping big here, down 27%. I mean, I do like the gap down. Is it going to trade well today? I'm not sure. There's not a lot that's in play this morning, so I'm going to put it on our secondary list. I do love this volume we're getting here. We do have shares for short on it as well. Next one on the list we know very well. This is PLTR, where you have 1 million shares trade. We're down 3.3. This looks very good as far as pre-market action, and usually they get great volume at the market open as well. So I'm going to put this over here on our secondary list as well. We'll come back to it. Any news on PLTR? It's a lot of volume this morning, this gap down. I'm not sure if anything is driving it.
Well, you know, sometimes your executives do good things for you. Sometimes your executives don't. So their CEO has been made some public comments that the market wasn't enjoying. So really, it's just a little bit of mouthiness going off. So
some Elon Muskiness. Is that what it was?
Yeah, muskiness. That's good.
That's what
maybe that's what we should call it now. Because Elon's got to have it. No, this guy's name is Alex Karp, and Alex Karp was making some comments over the weekend. Russell's, were we expecting? I guess I don't know what was slated, but I'm not sure if PLTR was supposed to get into the S&P 500. Usually they need a little sustained, proof of their growth and their size, right? PLTR has been big recently, but I'm not sure that it's been sustained enough that they want to be added to the S&P 500. Oh my God, you guys are got the dad jokes going. Congratulations to all our members here, Gerald and Mike. You guys are running with the dad jokes. I love it. So, okay. Anyways, lots of fun happening in the chat room here. They're making me proud. Dad joking away.
Nice.
Anyways,
nice. PLTR, we're going to keep that one on the secondary. I do like the volume. I like the gap down. Again, our list this morning is light, so we got space for it. I know many traders like that one. I tend to stay away from it. And we'll see how it goes. HBAN today, Huntington Banks. I'm not sure what that is, but they're down 3.1 this morning. 217,000 shares traded. They're just barely getting off our threshold here for the things that we like to see on our gappers list. I'm not a big fan of this chart at all. So I'm just gonna skip on this one. It barely moves. Also, if you look at these moves, these are 10, 15 cent moves. The float is massive at 1.9 billion. Usually when you have such a big float like that, you don't get great volume. You tend not to move a whole lot. So not liking that there, Peter, unless you want to have
no, we got some insiders selling a few shares, but it doesn't look like anything significant to me. Other than that, I don't see any news, so I don't know why it's moving. Yeah, I think we can move on.
Yeah. A good one coming up here. AMD. So AMD down 2.8 this morning. Tons of volume, 1.4 million shares traded. And it's gapping down for some reason here. If you look at AMD, we had a little bit of a range here, 160 something, 162 up to 170. So you see, which has kind of been stuck within here, opposed to some really nice trading we had before, where it's kind of moving down, moving up. So we're just kind of stuck there. Still great to trade. Like if it goes from the bottom of the range to the top of the range, or vice versa, you can still get some really good moves. You still get great volume for the daily. But it's down today, Peter. Is there anything happening in your favorite ticker this morning?
Well, I think partially it's a sympathy move with NVIDIA, because don't forget, NVIDIA is gapping down on its own. Now, not significantly, right? Like it's down 70 cents pre-split, that is $7. But anyway, so it is gapping down a little bit, but not enough that would make our list anyways. AMD did get a downgrade, though, which is interesting. Morgan Stanley chose this morning to announce a downgrade, moving their target price to 176, which is still above the current price. Moved it from an overweight rating to equal rate. So that I think that's what's got a little bit of attention on AMD and the volume in it that would make it hit our list. Now it is just above the 2%. I'm not particularly worried about the downgrade myself, but Morgan Stanley, I think, is making a statement by choosing this morning to release that. So we'll see what impact it has, but one way or the other, AMD and NVIDIA both going to be in play today. So I'll certainly be watching them. I mean, when don't I watch AMD? Let's be honest, but I do think they'll be the top of my trading list as well.
Yeah, that's same thing I have here. AMD and NVIDIA today. So far, I might move up PLTR because there's not anything else that I like that much this morning off the gappers list. Peter, we'll go to you, then we'll go over to our chat. So get your tickers ready over in both chats on our members tab and also on YouTube. And on YouTube, hit that thumbs up if you haven't done so already. We're sitting at how many likes do we have here this morning? I just had it up. I lost it.
How many?
I gotta scroll down. 78. So a little bit on the lower side.
My goodness, we got some work to do.
We're doing something wrong, Peter. What's going on here?
I don't know. They don't like it.
But yeah, let's get those up if we can. Really appreciate your support. It does help us out a ton, guys, to get subscribers.
I'm wearing my tour jersey. The shirt doesn't that have Rito Lake Cycle Tour? I got this beautiful shirt from my tour. That's get some likes. I know it's not climbing a mountain, but for me, it was my mountain. So I got her done.
Yeah.
But not enough dad jokes.
Yeah, we'll get some more in there. We still have a few minutes.
I'll have to dad it up. I don't know. My guess, I'm never quite sure if the dad jokes help or hinder our likes. So it's always tough to tell. Let me answer a question from Philippe in the room. Philippe from Belgium was asking, what does it mean to downgrade? Well, good question. The analysts that follow a specific stock, and the analyst companies are often the big banks. Especially, there are specialty analyst shops out there. So Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan are two of the bigger ones, and then you get the banks, HSBC Securities, and I don't know, a bunch of different banks that will always analyze a stock, and they put a rating to it. Is it a buy, a strong buy, a hold, a sell? What's the recommendation, right? So, and there's sort of a scale, right, from sell everything today to buy all you can. Obviously, those aren't the actual terminology of the ratings, but they prefer outperform and equal weight, and anyways, there's a whole ranking. So they either move them up or down that rating scale based on a number of factors that they determine within each analyst house. Now, here's where I'll put the big caveat. This is Peter being jaded Peter right now, but a lot of it is self-serving, right? Don't forget, these are big banks and big financial institutions that often have stakes in these, or their clients have stakes in these. Theoretically, they're firewalled off, meaning that when they do the analyst, that organization or part of the organization has no holdings in the stock. That's a requirement. However, it's a firewall with a big door in it, right? Where they can. So if the other part of your banking firm says we're holding a lot of this and we really need to get rid of it, often they'll actually upgrade the ranking because they want the price to go up so they can sell. The other way, if they're looking to acquire a lot, sometimes you get rankings that go down. Now, again, people will deny this happens because that's not how the market's supposed to work, and it's technically illegal, but I promise you it happens all the time. So anyways, I always take it with a grain of salt when the analysts give an upgrade or downgrade. It's not particularly meaningful in my mind. However, what matters for us as traders is that stocks often react to that. So when you get Morgan Stanley, which is a big and influential analyst that says they're moving it from what was called an overweight to equal weight. So they're saying basically you should reduce your holdings a little bit to be on par with your other holdings and not have more AMD than you would have others. People may reset their holdings, especially when you get, and it's not like us that they're worried about. The people that are resetting the holdings are the really deep pockets, those running funds, right? Like all those mutual funds that we as that they like to sell us as retail investors, or don't forget, they call us dumb money. So, that's why it's influential, because you can get people that rebalance portfolios based on these ratings. Does it actually influence the stock price? That is debatable in the long run. But what we can do is watch it, because sometimes you can trade off of that, right? If there's an opportunity for a stock to move. So there you go. There's a little bit of a view as to what happens there with the analysts. So we watch it all the time. And I'll mention if there's if there's a big rating change, just because sometimes it'll make the stock move. So, yeah. That's all I got.
Absolutely. All good. Let's so someone mentioned the price. Yeah, on trading terminal, if you look at the gappers list, it's taking the previous price from Friday. So that's what's showing off 90%. The price is not, it's right. It is. The NVIDIA is at 120.02 or right now, or 3. So it is right. It's just that to calculate the change, right, the gap down, is using Friday's price, which was 1,200. So it's showing almost down 100%, right? So tomorrow that'll be fixed. It'll go back to a regular gap down, but the price of 120 is correct, right? That's the split they were counting on. Friends, let's take a look at some tickers here. We'll start in our chat first. AMD we did look at, so that's already on deck here. 1.5 million. NVIDIA's on deck as well. Let's head down here. NVIDIA, for some reason, my bars are missing this morning. Could just be a refresh thing with the split. So mine's look fine though. So at least on trading terminal, they look okay. Heading down over here, that's thanks, not THX. Okay, I was about to pull up the ticker. So that's what we have in our chat. Let's take a look over in our YouTube chat this morning. CrowdStrike, yeah, we're talking to CrowdStrike in the chat here, and it is moving, right? So it's starting to move higher. This thing looks might have to add this onto the list. It looks very, very interesting here. So I'm gonna add it. We do have space today. CrowdStrike, I'll add it on here. I do like the fact that they're heading back towards their pre-market, or passing their pre-market high and looking to go higher. So that looks interesting. And Tesla, yes, let's take a look at Tesla. It'll be on my list today. I mean, Tesla is always fun to watch. This range just keeps getting tighter and tighter. Look at it. We started like all the way up here if you want to go all the way back, right? And this is all relative, because I see some really good stuff on this, right?
Something's got to break, right?
Yeah, it's getting tighter and tighter. I don't believe in triangle ranges as much, because you could just it could be so subjective to where you start your points, right? But yeah, it's tighter and tighter. We've got a little bit of volume here this morning, not a whole lot, but worth watching. I'll put it on a secondary.
Especially one like this, Carlos, like you were just drawing on Tesla. Yeah, triangles are very subjective. That's part of the problem in my mind. However, this one, yeah, if you sort of draw it in there, literally it's sort of coming to a point. But what does that mean, right? Is it going to break up to the top side or downside? I don't see much of an indication to really tell. So, it's not that helpful. It's not like it's a signal that's telling you know what to do, right? It's just telling you something's going to happen, which is sort of very limited in its usefulness.
Yeah, agree. And that's the thing, as technical traders, you want events to create volume and volatility, not necessarily direction, right? That is determined by what the price action does, right? So just look out for the volume, and then let the price tell you, hey, this is where we're going, join the party. But try to predict, hey, this is going to do that. That is a recipe for disaster there, like Andrew will say. All right, let's take a look here. GERN, let's take a look at a few more before we head to our community events and announcements. GERN, yeah, we saw this last week. I didn't have it on my list. It is up 1.1 this morning, 366,000 shares traded. Not a big fan of this one. We've seen it plenty of times. It just doesn't trade very well. And Friday is a great example of that, right? So very active pre-market activity. And then just look at this garbage truck stock. Yeah, let's get the garbage truck out here. This is just brutal. No on this. No way. So careful. That is typically what you get. And this is on one of their best days, right? So, I mean, and I say that because look at the volume. And still it is garbage. So that's extra garbage for that one. So let's leave that one alone. Be careful if you are going to be trading. It's CLSK. This morning, it's pretty quiet right now. I think this has to be probably the worst out of Mara coin, the worst trading one. Although Friday they had a nice day here. Look at this drop. Was that across the board or just Oh, across the board. So I can't give them too much credit, but look at Mara dropping here as well. Yeah, so just overall BTC took a nice dive yesterday on Friday, I'm assuming. Yeah, Friday, a big sell-off. So that's what's driving it. Today, not doing a whole lot, pretty quiet as far as gapping up or down. But might be worth watching BTC, and then you can see what other stocks are moving in any direction. So, but Clean Spark, I don't know, tough. I know you. I'm not sure if you like it over the other ones, but it's one to be careful with. CLSK. So yeah. All right. Let's see what else. Is that all time high on CrowdStrike? Really? You sure? It is. All right, so they're gapping up in some good fashion today. That makes it even more interesting. I like stocks
It
hitting
does
all-time
make it
highs, all-time
interesting.
lows. It does, yeah. Okay. All right, yeah, no, definitely. I have it on here. I think it looks very good this morning in the pre-market. Just be careful with the spread at the market open and make sure it's not doesn't get too wide on us there. All right, friends, 9 o'clock. Let's get over to our community events and announcements. If we have time to stand, we'll look at more tickers. Again, not a lot that looks explosive right now. I see Thor and Susan got their lists out there already. Did they copy and paste Amazon, AMD? They're very similar. Meta. I mean, usual suspects, right? That's what everybody seems to be watching. But yeah,
one thing
community events
we haven't really looked at. Bitcoin always moves on the weekend. Had a little bit of a movement this weekend, as usual, right? The biggest candles happen outside of market hours. We can see that again this weekend. It did move down, but not huge. You can just, basically just the candle's a little bit bigger than most of the rest of them. So it looks like we're just going to see a slide in Bitcoin through the course of this week, but we'll find out. I mean, it's been pretty light, hovering around the 70,000, 68 to 70,000 mark for the last, month almost. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. Carlos, I know sometimes you like to look at Mara or Coin, or they've been pretty quiet, right? Because we just haven't seen a lot of change in Bitcoin pricing.
Yeah, just Friday. Friday they had a big drop Friday. Other than that, they have not been very active really. So except for Friday. So I'm not sure what took place Friday, but nice drop on all of them. They all just dropped on Friday. There you go. Friends, onboarding class tonight. Just to give you a heads up, Peter, I am off tonight, so that'll be done by I believe Megan? Is Megan covering me? So Megan's gonna be doing the onboarding class tonight. So if you like Megan, definitely head over tonight at 8 o'clock. Megan is gonna be covering me for me this evening. So that should be fun. She does an amazing job always on everything she touches. So definitely don't miss it. If you pay the $1 that Peter's going to talk to you about in a second, you're going to get free access to this class tonight, plus 7 days in the chat room. So great time to do that. $1 trial gets you in the chat room, and you can take advantage of Megan this evening. All right, Peter, walk you through.
Fantastic. Well, that's a place to start. Because tonight and Monday, we always do our onboarding class. Normally, like Carlos was saying, it's him leading that. Gives you an introduction to the room. So if you're new at Bearable Traders and want to get more familiar with the community and all the offerings and get a little introduction to trading, that's the place to go. Now, whether he's doing it or Megan's doing it, you're going to get a great experience in terms of getting oriented and getting your questions answered. So love that Megan's there. I mean, who doesn't like getting touched by Megan? So that sounded creepy. Never mind. It's going to be a great class one way or the other. And hopefully you will join tonight at 8 o'clock. All right. Especially if you're new to the room. Tuesdays, we do our strategy and trade book session. This week, it's the how. Thor always talks about the where, the when, and the how, right? So this is the how of his trading strategy. And sorry, it's all the memes in the room. I knew that comment would get people going. So there you go. You're welcome, everybody. Tomorrow night, Thor is going to talk about the house. Yeah, I've got myself all discombobulated. That's right. Megan needs to call HR. The problem is that's me. So you call anytime. All right. So anyways, tomorrow night, June 11th, 8 o'clock, Thor will be doing his session on the how. Next week, John is going to be with us talking about how you can average up for bigger wins. He's going to talk about sort of his strategy and how he uses an averaging up strategy. That'll be on Tuesday, June the, I still got to figure out if there's one next week because that's June the 25th, actually. Anyways, he will be doing that session, whether it's next week or the week after. Wednesdays is psychology, and this Wednesday we've been talking about it for 2 weeks now. I can't wait for Susan to take over the airwaves and talk to you about how she manages self-mastery and how you can employ some tips. Oh my goodness, tips and tricks, not ticks. Those are bad and you want to avoid them. If you go out in the woods, make sure you check yourself for ticks afterwards. Nobody wants Lyme disease. It's horrible. But that's not what we're talking about here. Tips and tricks is what we're talking about to self-mastery, and Susan's going to teach you all about that this coming Wednesday, June the 12th at 8 p.m. All right, Thursdays is all about mentorship, and this Thursday, like every Thursday, we have 4 different sessions for you, starting with John at 11 a.m. Then we go to Megan and Jared with a options-focused session at 2 p.m., back to stocks with Lenny at 4, and then, of course, Thor closes out the day at 8 p.m., as he always does. So that's fantastic. And our lineup for this coming week. As Carlos mentioned, look, the best deal out there is the $1 1-week access deal to Bearable Traders. If you want to check out our community, we do some great stuff live, right? We love doing the pre-market with you and getting you ready. But then we just give you sort of a little taste, a wee soupçon of what it's like to be part of the chat room every day. What you don't get is all the live commentary from and the active chat from all of our members that happens throughout the trading day, as well as our live traders for the rest of the day. If you want to join us, you can't do better than $1. You go to bearabletraders.com/YouTube and you get that deal. It gives you access to the onboarding class we mentioned with Megan tonight. Sign up now. You can be there tonight. And then 1 week of full access to the chat room, and see if it's the community for you. It's a great place to have thousands of eyeballs checking on stocks and helping you with your trading. You can also ask questions. Everybody's very helpful. Not only our moderators, but members always help each other out. I love you guys. I love the community. I think it's a great place. So, and maybe if I got the $500 million, I'd probably still be here, because what am I going to do with myself? I miss you guys. I have no one to talk to, and my wife certainly doesn't want to talk to me all day. So, why wouldn't I be here? Just kidding. No, I'm not kidding. She probably doesn't want to. Anyways, this is why I'm doing this in retirement. She just didn't want me sitting around bugging her all the time. All right. So if you want to join us, though, after that, then you can use the basic or elite monthly package or the elite annual. The elite annual is your best deal. But if you just want to try it out again, $1. Come on, what do you got to lose? By the way, we only charge the $1 just to avoid all the bots and the scammers to jumping into the room. Apparently, they're all cheap. They will not pay $1. So that's how we know you're real. Join us, and we think it'll be the best buck you've ever spent. So with that, we're going to set some levels. We're going to get ready for the open. I'm just, you can tell I'm excited because I finished my cycling. I made it out alive. I'm sitting down so my legs don't hurt as much. And I'm waiting for Andrew. He's supposed to be back like any day now. We're expecting to hear from, and I want to know that he successfully made the mountain trek, and he's back. I have to admit, I'm getting a little anxious because I haven't heard from him in a while, and this is probably even. I think, Carlos, if I think back, even like considering Everest and Antarctica, this is the longest we've never heard from him. Like. Normally, we've heard Alex on the palm tree. By the way, on the foam roller, don't worry, I've been doing that all morning. Plus my roller bar here, I got it all going. So, but yes, it is weird. We haven't heard from him, and George, that's the proof of life is what I'm looking for. Yes, so I hope we hear from him again soon because he makes me nervous.
There was an update on the newsletter, though. I think right. The newsletter had an update from Brian.
So, so those are Brian. That's Brian doing updates. On his behalf.
So he mentioned that they still have not climbed the peak, right? And they're stuck because the weather has been so bad, right? And that was like last week, Wednesday. Yeah. So there was an update that they received. They say they haven't made it yet, and they have a couple of days left because they can only be in the mountain for like 27 days, or else they got to come back down whether they hit the peak or not. So check the newsletter, guys. There's an update there from Brian. And Brian, when he comes on, he can tell us a little bit more. But I thought that was the latest update from him. So they're good. They're alive. It's just they have not been able to get up there because of the weather. And I think on Saturday was supposed to be nice. So they're going to attempt it to try to get up there. So we'll see. So yeah, the newsletter has some
Okay.
updates on there.
You're
Yeah,
right.
to take a look at that.
I
Yeah. So
missed this
Peter,
in my
Peter, you're not reading our new.
new.
Wait a minute, Peter. You're not reading our newsletters, Peter. What's going on?
Well, I
I'm
sometimes
kidding.
get
I'm kidding,
distracted
man.
with the thought of my own Everest. So you're
Listen,
right.
you
There were
did
some updates
two.
back
Yeah.
last Tuesday. That's when he posted about his push to the summit. So
Yeah.
all right,
So
there you go. Okay, so
there's
at
some
least we
updates there.
know he was alive as
Yeah.
of late last week. Oh, and then Thursday, you're right. There was another quick update there. So it looks like they're spending their time making igloos.
Yeah, exactly. All right, friends, let's get to it. At 9/11. Next is going to be Brian, and I don't know who's trading with him, but someone
I
will be
think Thor's
joining
coming on.
Brian. Thor. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
Probably
Thor. Okay, excellent. All right,
Yeah.
so Brian and Thor up next, guys. Guys, get ready. Well, 9:15 or so, we'll be transitioning to you 9:20. So definitely log in as soon as you can, so we can have a smooth transition. But before that, let's get to some quick levels: NVIDIA, AMD, and CrowdStrike, and then we'll also look at our moderators list. I have Thor, I have Susan, I have Jared. So if the moderators are ready, get those out as well, and we can get rocking and rolling for this week of trading. Very excited about NVIDIA. We'll do levels right now on this thing. And if we look at here, we are looking at the daily. And we're just this nice little range here. So weird to look at NVIDIA at $119, but that's going to be a lot of fun. It is, ain't it? I started saying like 119. That is pretty good. I like that. It's going to bring in, like you mentioned, it's going to bring in so much new blood in here for us. So that didn't sound right. No, so much new traders for everybody to take advantage of volume. Yeah, it's going to be fun for us. So yeah, 119. Love the pre-market is 118.99. So I like that there. And if I got to zoom in so it doesn't go crazy, right over here, high of the pre-market is 122.19. So that's awesome as well. And if you look at the bigger picture, surrounded by the highs and lows of the last two trading days, all-time high sitting around 126.25, 126.50 or so. Easy to say the prices now instead of 1,200 and all this other stuff. So pretty nice. For me, it'll be making my job easier as well. So a lot of fun, tons of volume, 9.3 million shares traded. And yeah, looks awesome.
All right. I keep seeing random comments from people that are saying that they're having trouble with seeing the stock prices on their different charts. So keep in mind, we had a 10-for-1 stock split on NVIDIA. So like if I zoom out on my 5-minute chart on NVIDIA, like it looks very flat because, Friday's prices are $1,200 and the current price is $120. So like that, like Carlos is showing.
Yeah.
The data's all there. It's just because we're going from 1,200 to 120 that it looks like it's totally flat. So if you sort of zoom into just today, you'll see normal price action. And if you take today off and just look at Friday, Thursday, right, it'll also look normal. So that usually smooths itself out after a day or so. But just know that some of the platforms, it takes some time to adjust when you have the stock split. But, the data's there. It's all working. NVIDIA's fine, but just keep that in mind.
Yeah, and this will probably reset in a couple of days. This will fix, and it'll be back to normal.
Right.
So right now it's just wacky. Same thing with our scanners. Again, showing down 90%. Trust me, NVIDIA's not down 90%. It's just timing. Penny, great question. Do you think the increase in share float for NVIDIA will affect the way it trades? I'm not sure. I don't think it will. I think it will be the same. We see stocks tend to have their characteristic, like their DNA. Like if you look at Amazon. Amazon was one that traded very horrible, and it changed. And it traded a little bit better, but it's still not a great trader as like NVIDIA, AMD, and these other ones. So I don't know. There's so much volume on this one. I think it'll still trade better. It might be a little volatile the next couple of days with everybody with the excitement of it being at 119. So we'll have to see. But I think it'll still trade very good here. Next on the list, guys, is AMD. Towards the top, you're surrounded by the highs and lows of the last two trading days. Do not need to add anything on here besides the high of the pre-market and I think the low. And you're pretty set on NVIDIA, on AMD this morning. Volume right now, 1.5 million shares traded. And actually, you know what? We'll do another level towards the bottom just in case we drop below this 162. That's going to be that 160.13 there. So that is the volume you want, the level you want on AMD. Next is CrowdStrike. No, oh man, that's not nice. Look at that drop. So dropping from 372, which again, it's not a huge drop for a $300 stock, but it is happening rather aggressively here. 372.50 is the high of the pre-market. And the low, we're going to mark it down over at 365.95. We'll slam one there. And then below that, we do have a level over at 358.95. So once you do that, you're all set. All-time highs here, guys. So that will be after hours on Friday, 373.89 is what I have. But that is your all-time highs. Really nice pop here. And that makes it a little bit more interesting, the fact that we're sitting at all-time highs this morning. So that's all we got. A couple of, I probably will move PLTR, but I'll do levels for it off chart here. And we also have here Perry continues to drop, another good one. And Tesla, looking for Tesla. Light volume this morning, all actions on NVIDIA at the moment. But I think that'll be a good one to keep in check as well. All right, looking at a moderators list this morning, we have Thor, Amazon, AMD, Tesla, Apple, and Meta. We have Susan, Amazon, Apple, AMD, Walmart, NVIDIA, and Meta. Jared, NVIDIA, and then secondary list sentiments on semis. Pierce looking at NVIDIA, AMD, Apple, and Mara. Brian, the man of the hour, who's going to be trading live with you this morning. Guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up as we are doing the show. What are we looking at? Let's take a look here. What are we sitting at? If I look over here, we are at 189 likes with 478 viewers. So if you can help us bring that higher, that would be awesome. We'd love to be able to go at 300. That helps us out a ton. So help us get there. And so that's Brian's list. Megan will be looking at CRWD and Love, which has a movement today. Phil has Apple, NVIDIA, SQ, and CrowdStrike, which is hitting their all-time highs. And that is our moderators list for today. Thor and Brian trading live next to you guys, so definitely stay tuned for that. Peter, AMD, NVIDIA, CrowdStrike, and then secondary list, Tesla, Love, and of course GME for fun. I also have GME for fun. I think it'll be nice to watch over the last couple of days. Let's see how long this hype can keep going. Right, so it's very interesting. All right, guys, we are good to go. Peter, anything that we might have forgot before we hand it off?
I think we got it all covered today. I want to thank everybody for being here, especially all the new members that have joined. If you're the first time to the show, we love you here. We noticed that our subscribers crossed the 400,000 mark over the weekend. Pretty awesome, man. I'm just like 429,000 as of right now. So that's you guys are pretty awesome. So that's great to see, and great to see so many people interested in getting ready for the markets. And again, feel free, if you're interested in joining the community, as we just posted there in the comments, the $1 deal is the best you got. We'd love just to see you here. Give it a shot, right? Just see if it's a community for you. We promise we will not automatically sell you. We're not a high pressure type environment. That's not what we do. We really just like having a lot of like-minded traders around us, because the more of us there are, the better, the more eyes we've got on the market, and the more we can help each other grow. There's room for everybody to be successful, and that's what we want within our community. So thanks for joining us. And Carlos, we'll hand it over to our live traders. Hopefully they're up and running. Have we got Brian here yet?
They're not. No, we got a couple of minutes, so we'll keep going until we see his face pop up over here. Guys, subscribe if you haven't. We are halfway to Tesla giveaway. That's going to be a lot of fun. You don't want to miss that. We're halfway there. Probably in 3 months we'll get there.
And don't forget,
this is going.
Andrew, before he left, he promised a laptop a week, right? And
that's going to come back when he comes back. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't
know. Out one. I don't think he's going to
laptop a week, and we're 3 weeks behind. So I'm expecting him to start giving away
I don't think he's going to give. I mean, I don't know. He's going to give 3 at the same time, but we'll see. He might. The conversation.
When he comes back and he sees our subscribers have gone from 200,000 to 400,000, I think that deserves a couple of laptops. We'll see.
I agree. I think it deserves a half a Tesla. Let's give a Model 3 or something.
Half a Tesla. We'll give it a Tesla a bit at a time. A couple wheels to one person.
Like here's a charging station for you, in case you win. Oh, this is going to be fun. Friends, thumbs up, 244. I wanted to leave here with 300 likes. I see Brian is ready to go. Thor's coming on as well, so we'll switch over to them. But I would love to leave off with 300 likes at 244 right now. So if you haven't done so, slam that thumbs up. All right, excellent. Good morning, Brian, sir. How are you?
Good morning, everybody. I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. Having a little fun this morning, as you can see.
Am I quiet? What's going on with this?
Brian, there seems to be something blocking your camera.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Oh, wait a sec. I know what it is. How's both?
Oh, there we go. That's perfect. Okay, excellent. Excellent.
Lens.
All right, man. Have a great trading day.
All right. Good morning, everybody. And here we are. Got the garbage truck ready to go. Oh, we got Paris back in the room. All right.
I see that. You've cleaned the desk behind you. You got the garbage truck all positioned. I love it.
That's right.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Give me a sec here.
Hey, and we do have Pyrus back in here. Good to see you, buddy. How was your time? Hopefully you had some fun.
Thor, are those new leather chairs? Those are like supervillain leather chairs. I love them.
Yeah, and it's actually they're only there for meetings and in which you have to sit there and look ominous.
Stroking your cat.
Got that. Got the little setup back there. Everything going on. Not bad.
Nice.
All right, cool. Oh, let me get a screen share for everybody. I like, I can't play NVIDIA today because of the stock split. Absolutely killed all my cams, so I really just don't know what to do with it. So unfortunately, I'm just not really going to be probably looking at that today, although that's probably what a lot of people are going to be trading. But I think Jared already technically made his entire day in the pre-market trading those things, so good on you, brother. Always a good job.
Yeah.
Killing it.
There's lots of bids and asks stacked right in tight around NVIDIA here. On the level 2. All right. Let's just see here. What do we got going on? Let's share a screen here as well.
Yeah, Salim, I'm with you there. It's going to be difficult because, NVIDIA is going to go into price discovery at the open. And they're going to have to find value. With this new split, what does that even mean right now? There's no way to even really know that because it hasn't happened yet. So like when I'm looking at NVIDIA's book, for instance, in the pre-market, we've been selling very aggressively, almost 500,000 imbalanced to the downside. So that's quite a bit of selling. And we have some very strong bid to the downside. One really big seller at 125. But if you get down near $100, you'll see what I'm talking about. Look at this order down near $100. Look at the size of that thing. So there's an institutional buyer that would love to get their NVIDIA on around $100. So if people sell the split, which they may, it could easily drive the price on this thing down to this large buyer. But it'll be really interesting to see what happens because as you look above 125, 130, 135, 40, the order book is incredibly lean. So there's not a lot of people really looking to profit off of this higher yet. So it looked like we're going to sell into buyers. But we'll have to see how that response is at the open. If we come in and find heavy buyers near the price at the open, maybe we squeeze to 125. It'll be really interesting to watch.
Tesla's kind of leaking off here a little bit. There's some orders here down at 175. I guess Musk was live streaming on X over the weekend. Somebody asked him if there was a Y model refresh coming, and he said, which everyone, I think, or a lot of people were looking for, and he said, no, ain't happening. So anyway, not sure if that's going to have any impact on the stock. So we're getting a little bit of buying going into the open here. Apple's got their developer conference going on starting today, so it'll be they'll be looking for some announcements. I'm thinking this is why the stock has run up so much, and it's still green today. It's had a really nice run over the last last month on this AI stuff. Oh, and NVIDIA is popping here.
we're getting some buying volume in general into the market leading into the open. Even the ES and NQ are picking up orders. See if we hold this area as support at the open. If it does, we could definitely get some action off of this area in the open, get a nice pop. Let's see.
Yeah, we're getting a bit of buying here on AMD.
Downside. AMD has a lot of bid to the downside, though.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at too.
In this range, actually, we could actually look for a fake out. It'd be a squeeze back up to about 165 or so, where our order book gets lean. We got an algo level there, and if it fades off of that, we could actually have it'd be a counter trending breakdown, which those can be super powerful.
AMD is actually down quite a bit today from the open.
Yeah. We were actually in a higher range today on AMD. It closed pretty high, but since in the after hours, it is gapped down in the after hours. So it was downgraded. Thank you, Mike. So we have a lot of bids lower. So if AMD starts to squeeze a bit, we could actually look for a failure somewhere right up around yesterday's low, or previous session's low, I should say.
Yeah. We've still got 3 minutes to the open here. Tesla's really looking weak at this point. It's kind of selling off here. Apple's selling off a bit. Looks like it actually might test red again, which it already has once.
Tesla's in a lower range, so I could look to play it off of 175 and a quarter if it gets down there and look for a bounce. Yeah. Alex, we got Pyrus in the house, buddy.
Yeah, Paris is back from his extended vacation. I think he was up visiting Andrew, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, Andrew, I guess this is apparently they're sitting up there waiting for a weather window to get up to the top. But I guess this is apparently the longest any team has ever waited for a weather window, because apparently the weather can be pretty inclement up on top of Denali, so you've got to wait for a opportunity to move up to the peak. So I guess that's what they've been doing, and I think it was last time we heard it was like 17 days they've been kind of waiting. So I don't know what you do when you're sitting in a tent for 17 days with in the pile of snow. Doesn't sound like a lot of fun to me, but to each his own.
I mean, I was already out when you said that S word. It sounds like but then you throw an S on the front of it, and it makes it not as cool. So
you like the S. You like the sand word. You just don't like the snow.
I like it if it's warm. I'll take warm.
Yeah, I'm a warm weather guy too. Yeah, AMD's got a lot of stuff to the downside here.
Oh, nice. Well, Destin's nice. You'll like that. I'm in the St. Augustine area.
You kind of focus on AMD because it looks kind of weak, and there's a lot of orders to the downside here. So,
ding, ding, ding.
Good ding. Here we go. All right, short AMD at 165, 161.30. We had a bit of a drop there. Come on down. Might be jumping around here, but I am looking for more downside. We'll see if it happens.
Come on, a little lower than that. I was
Covered
hoping
a little
to.
bit. 161.89. Yeah.
So far, no clear direction on the ES from the open. We definitely have looks like some buying happening here, but I want it to be lower in order for me to go long on this thing. So if it buys out of here, I'll let Tesla go. I don't want to buy it this high.
Just covered some more at 161.72.
Although it looks like it's ready. Oh well. I'll let that one go.
I'm out of the rest of AMD. Just it's going to jump around here. Looks like it actually might want to go higher now. Still stalling at the VWAP.
I'm watching the Qs here. M and Q, see if we bounce. I took a long on NQ here.
Nice. Took a long on AMD at 70, 162.70. It's going to chop me up here.
We wicked down and pulled this wick here right under S6. I went ahead and when it came back down, I filled on a limit to the downside to get a good fill. So my stop's just below here. I'm going to target a run back to the open, back up to like pre-market high, basically. We are a higher range here, so I'm hoping we can get a push for flushes. I'll get out.
Ooh, look at NVIDIA just went green. Yeah, it looks like AMD is probably going to fill these large orders down here. Tesla took a little bit of a pop there. Things have been pretty choppy. Petty.
Nice. Okay. Come on. Very nice. That was a really nice buy there.
Qs are moving up a bit. $5-minute. Yeah, look at a lot of wiki price action on NVIDIA. It did manage to go green there for a minute.
I went ahead and moved to break even on it. If it flushes all the way back down through my price, I'll get out of it. Otherwise, I'm holding for my holding for target.
You're what are you trading?
I longed NQ or MNQ,
Okay.
the micro.
Right.
Yeah, Tyler. My screen's up. You might see Brian's or mine, but if you go up to the top, you can switch back and forth between the two of us. I longed NQ, opened low here and found a really solid buyer. So I went ahead when it dipped down. I got long, used the low of this candle as my stop area. So and I'm targeting right up about here. Should be my 4-to-1s right up in this consolidatory area here. So if we can hold S4 and push up, I should be able to get to target pretty well on this one. I only risked about, I think I risked at this range, I only had risked about $110 on this trade, and I'm already up $400 or $500 on it. So almost. It's just less than that now that it pulled back. We'll see. If it comes back down, I can get stopped out on this one. I haven't gotten a profit yet, so unfortunately, we can sell off a S4 here, and that wouldn't be fun. But it's okay. I'll look around while that's having fun.
Yeah, I'm looking for stuff here that's Apple's kind of selling off. That's interesting.
No, my Schwab account is not connected to DOS. My DOS is on is Interactive Brokers is the broker that I'm using for my my DOS account. Oh, thank you. A lot of buying on Meta, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd feel comfortable reversing it with this much buying. I like the area it's in. Like as far as selling, like it's definitely in a spot I would like to sell. I love the monthly range for selling. I love the intraday range for selling, but I don't like how much it's buying right now. Right now, CBD clearly green. So it's, it took a big buy at the open, and it's been buying pretty much nonstop and has a really big order sitting at 500. So it could sell from here because the R-vol's a little low and come back down to 490. I'm not in love with how much buying it's been doing right now. It makes it less desirable for me to try and short it. It's just because it's been buying so much. Notice the absorption. This is something Paris is really good at teaching to read on the tape. I can't see it on the tape so much, but if you're looking at my book map, I can see it on the book. Notice how every time you get a green dot, the price moves. Like you're getting little green dots, and anytime you're getting little green dots, the price is going up. But anytime you get like a red dot, the price moves laterally.
Yeah.
The red dots aren't really dropping the price. There's a buyer that's absorbing these sells. Anytime they sell down, there's a buyer willing to take the orders. So it looks like it's an accumulation to me. Anytime you get buy orders, the price lifts. Anytime you get sell orders, the sells are absorbed.
Yeah, it's a great observation.
So I wouldn't short it just because of the way the book looks right now. Not that it's not a short. It could be a short in a little bit. But right now it's reading a little bit too strong for me to want to fade it.
Apple's getting a bit of a bounce here. Yeah, 498.75 on Meta could be an area it could look to go to. That was Friday's high. And take a bit of a long on Meta just on that pullback.
I'm still holding my Qs. We're having a lot of trouble here getting this breakout to go, but if it can go, I mean, we're in a great spot. I mean, it certainly could move. So let's get the book up on this one.
Looking for a breakout on Meta now. We can get to 497. Be my next target. Maybe 497.50. Here we go. Yeah, Qs are looking like they're going to try to go green here.
They're buying a bit, that's for sure.
All right. Crystal Castle, what did you do here? You were trading Apple? Nice. Got that sell-off.
Not getting the buying that we are getting is not moving the price as much as I would like it to on the market. On the markets, yeah. There's not a lot of stuff to move the markets today. We've got obviously got the Fed announcement. You got the Fed announcement later on Wednesday. We got CPI. I think CPI data Wednesday. Yeah, CPI data Wednesday, PPI data Thursday. So not a lot of stuff pushing the market around. NVIDIA's just dropped. Tesla's choppy. I'm still hoping Meta breaks out here. Qs are starting to pick up the Qs. The issue, so I went ahead and cut my IB account position that I was holding, and went ahead and netted the 3.5 R because I was just under my target. So, and the reason I did that is because as I looked at us, all these large green orders that were coming through were failing to lift the price, even though we had very large buying. So there had to have been a seller here that was absorbing the price action. So, and then I saw some bids start dropping in lower. So I went ahead and sold that position because of that. And then on my other account, I went ahead and shorted the Qs because we were at S4 on my other account. So I went ahead and went 9 micros short using the high of that consolidatory period as my stop there. So now we're going to see if we can play a breakdown on these. If these squeeze back up, I'll get out and, I'll still have made some money today. But the weakness there was way too apparent at that point. So I was feeling pretty good about cutting that one and flipping short on another one. So we'll see what happens. If it squeezes, I'll get out.
Meta's kind of consolidating sideways now. Take another run here at high of day. Tesla's looks like it's gone green on the day. It's interesting. Oh, here we go. Come on. Come on. No, couldn't push higher there. Had a seller just under 497 on Meta. Yeah, Apple's failing again here, dropping. Low of day. Okay, I'm getting out of Meta. That just again, it was one of those things. It's just couldn't find buyers to push it through that level, and you keep trying, and eventually people will go, oh, it doesn't look like it's going to go, so they bail. That's what happened there. Ooh, NVIDIA's dropping. Tesla's,
Yeah.
Wow, Tesla's on fire here.
That sell volume came in pretty stout.
AMD dropping again. Damn you. That would have been a good short. Just so choppy at the open.
There we go. My Ninja Trader is lagging like crazy right now.
Okay, well, not a great session for me so far. It does look like AMD wants to drop more here.
There we go. Come on, wake up.
Wow, NVIDIA is really dropping here. Broke down, broke below low of the pre-market.
All right, I finally got things working again. I got a limit order sitting out here for, it'll be, it's about 5 out of 9 contracts. If it hits that, I'll make a few $100s on that. I'm up a few hundred on it right now, so, but I only risked about $100 on this position, so it's a pretty sweet, or about 120, so we're in a pretty good spot on it. If we can get a flush on here, I'll get a really nice fill. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, we're right.
Since we have a tighter range and we pulled back to S4, I'm playing a breakdown on it. And we'll see if it sustains.
We're right at Friday's low right now on the Qs.
I'm watching Meta for a short now. It's managed to get underneath R3 and reconsolidate underneath it. So I think it's, if the market moves down This is kind of where I was looking for Meta to interact with it before.
I just shorted NVIDIA, just sort of catching that drop there. I'm just gonna cover it here. That was just I don't want to stay in this trade too long. It could come back up, just like that.
Yeah, never mind.
Crowds must have got an upgrade or something.
Yeah.
It's more downside on NVIDIA, maybe. Wow. Jeez, look at this thing sell off. Well, I kind of called it on the weekend. I had my swing trade video. Kind of figured we'd get a sell off. How long this goes on, it probably at some point gives an opportunity to get in, but this is a bit of a sell the news event right now, this split.
Mm-hmm. Well, it had very little order book to the top side, especially at the open. It built a little bit more as we went, but it's got some real institutional buyers. If you zoom out a little bit more, look how big the order is at 100.
Yeah,
giant institutional order at 100. Thing is like spectacular. Somebody wants to get their NVIDIA on in a bad way down there.
At 100, yeah, be a good place to go enter there.
Moment of truth here on Qs. We're kind of holding this lower end of the range. If we move much lower, we go into it, we'll probably sell for a bit. If we can hold here and sustain, we can actually create a little bit of a rally, but we're selling pretty well down in right now. So I'm still holding my short position. But I'll cut it if it comes back up through 19.01350. You can see here.
Wow. A lot of the big names are selling off here. We've got Apple selling off, NVIDIA, Tesla's holding its own, AMD's selling off. Amazon's still holding up here. I think Amazon has an event this week too, I believe. Microsoft's actually strong. Believe that.
Hopefully I'm not being too boring for our YouTube people. As you guys know, I don't really partial a whole lot. So once I'm in a position, it takes a few minutes to get where we're going. So I'm still feeling pretty good about this position. So I'm just kind of holding. I'm hoping I get a nice big flush here, and it'll take me down and get me into the money here. But we keep finding this buyer off of the low end here, which is not making me super happy. But it's okay. I'm at break even. If this goes up to here, I'll just take this one off. It's okay. But if we get that drop I was wanting, we'd be good. But look at that thing, how it got right down near there. Ugh.
Yeah, it's that Friday. It's that Friday low. That's where it's that's where it's holding there. Wow, Microsoft is on a tear here.
Really high value area right here. It's trying to reclaim. Good seller though.
Okay, NVIDIA kind of bouncing back a little bit now. Might be got really extended from the moving averages, so it's just kept pulling back up a little bit here. AMD's gone through the 9. It's maybe going to go back to the 20, and the VWAP, which might be a good place to short it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you kind of stuck between the VWAP and Friday's low on the Qs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's getting a pretty nice
Breakout.
squeeze on me now. Might not get this one. I was feeling pretty good about it, so but that's okay.
Maybe the buying brigade's coming in. Tesla back at the VWAP. Wow, what a crazy move that was.
Yeah, out of break even. Actually, a little bit ahead of break even. It's okay. And my Ninja platform is being really laggy right now, which I'm not very happy about. That's annoying.
Yeah.
All right, where are we at now? Higher.
I'm going to take a short here on AMD at 162.73 here, and just see if we get a pullback on this. It's right around the VWAP right now. It's going to have a tight stop. I don't like that. Order showing up at 162. I'm out of it. I didn't like the fact that order showed up. So I went flat on that. Didn't work out.
I missed Tesla while I was messing around with this whole thing. I meant to watch Tesla for an R3 short, and look at that.
Right at
Wicked to
R3.
a penny. Gave me a perfect setup.
Yeah, right at R3.
I blame Ninja. How dare you?
Yeah.
I'm having all kinds of just lag on this thing. I have orders that are getting hung like left and right on this thing. I don't know what's going on with it. There we go.
Q's tried to pop up above the VWAP there. Couldn't hold that.
Yeah, Q's just came back and stopped me out basically. But it's down at the support area again now, so I can't short it now because I've kind of missed the spot. If anything, at this point, I'm going to look for the other direction. Frustrating.
Yeah, it's not been an easy trading day.
No.
Microsoft was looking strong, and then it really rolled over a bit here. Yeah, Tesla at R3 would have been a really nice entry.
Well, the good news is even though I didn't get that short, I had longed Qs or NQ earlier, and then I cut that position. So I made money really nice on that one. So that's why I wasn't too concerned with the other one. So you could see here when at the beginning of the day here, I went long when it pulled back here. So I got profit there. Really nice day. And then it came back. So since I have a little bit here, I'm going to try one more off the bottom on NQ. So I longed as we pulled back and held. If this goes out, it'll take me out for the, I'll basically just stop trading the day up a decent amount of profit, but it just won't be a great day, which is okay. On my other account, I also got a couple contracts long on ES to see if we get a rally now, and then we'll just see how it goes. So all in all, though, I mean, pretty good day. I'm making some decent, no big moves here, but I'm still putting some green in the. Here we go. That's a nice push.
Just seems like the SPY's coming back up. Just feels like we're kind of chopping around here for the time being.
We had a lot of opportunity to sell.
Yeah.
And we've been buying pretty well the past like 10 or 15 minutes. So I'm starting to feel like if we were going to break down, that would have happened already. But who knows? They've been tricky today. Konstantinos in YouTube. When we're talking about R3, we're talking about Camarilla pivot points. So Camarilla pivots are kind of a different varied calculation method that we utilize to break the market into like buying and selling ranges and where we're expecting to see a certain type of activity. So when you see, if you're in an area where you're expecting to buy, like right now on NQ, I was sitting down near S6. This is a buying area, and I keep seeing buying off of this area over and over and over again. So since I see buying and I'm thinking buying, now I do that. This market's just junk right now. We're just not getting any follow through.
No, exactly. It's just, like I said, we're into kind of a trading range and just chopping there. Ooh, Apple's down at S4.
Tesla short. Tesla short was my trade. That was the one I wanted today. I didn't get it.
That was a nice reversal off S3.
Not seeing a lot I like now, actually.
No, NVIDIA's come back up after that. It really got extended from the moving averages, so nice reversal there.
Let's see what happens. I've been having trouble getting follow through on anything.
Yeah, it seems to be the way the market is right now. We were spoiled with a nice couple of months there.
Oh yeah, I did that nice bull trend there for a few months.
Yeah.
Easy days.
Yeah.
We'll get
Those are
there.
big.
You know, I didn't check to see if we have any. Let me look real quick. One of my favorite spots that I kind of check these things out when I'm looking at calendar stuff is I'll go to tradingterminal.com. Little plug there. But I really like it because you can go here and they have this whole economic calendar. And the calendar gets broken down into news events for the day. So one of the issues you can kind of see today may be having is that there's, more or less a complete lack of news as far as economic news. So the market really doesn't have anything to pick a direction off of.
Yeah, there's a bond auction later today, but it's not. Right. But usually, those things aren't really big market movers. NVIDIA, wow,
ES is trying to push right now.
Yeah.
Right on. Oh, that was nice. Come on. Buy, you stinking thing. Anytime it buys, it immediately runs into a big seller and just flushes. Anytime it sells, it runs into a buyer. It's just end here.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Wow, Tesla's kind of heading to low of day here. It's actually down at S3 now.
I do have a long going on the ES as well that I've been holding since pretty much the open. It's not really doing great either, but I mean, I'm at break even on this one, so it's actually trailing the 50. I moved it to trail the 50, so we'll see what happens on this one. If I can get this market to stink, I mean, we're at the very bottom of the range right now, and we're not getting enough volume to break down. So at some point, I just feel like we're gonna have to squeeze, and even either alleviate the pressure to the downside a little bit, or I don't know, just rallying. Who knows? So, but
yeah.
The market seems to be trying to do a little bit of that right now. Ooh. Oh, there's my Tesla short. Dang it, Mike.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, that was a nice short, nice catch off S3.
Here's my trade for the record. This is the way my trade would have looked if I'd have taken it. I don't know how Mike knows what my trades are supposed to look like. Apparently he does.
Nice.
This is exactly what I'm looking for. Precise test to R3. Hit it again, forming a nice indecision candle, right? This gives you the ability to play an isolated pivot. It makes the new low, setting the isolated pivot. Short here, stop there. You could easily get a 4-to-1 target all day. Very nice.
Yeah, that was a nice catch on that. I just saw it breaking out. I didn't recognize. I didn't see that pivot level. Too bad. Boy, AMD's had some pretty significant buying. Same with Tesla. Tesla's struggling at the 20 EMA right now. It's gone through the 9. It's at the 20. Might break through here, get to the VWAP. Yeah, this 160 level on AMD is a pretty significant area of support. It's about where we got down to. Oh, Qs are finally breaking out here. You still got your Q long position?
Still got it. Yeah, I still got it. Still got it.
Just long, I'm long NVIDIA on this move here. It's just 119. Let's see if we can get to the VWAP here.
We're back at the top of the range where we failed before on the Qs. So if we can push through here, we got a shot. But this is basically monthly R3. So it's a big. There's often a really big seller sitting here. So let's see what they can do with it. I feel like we spent a lot of time buying down here, so making a transition to a higher part of the range would seem doable.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Oh, here we go. I'm selling some NVIDIA. Just a scalp to get to the VWAP here. So 119.20. So just selling some more at 22. 119.22. I really don't know if we're going to be able to get to the VWAP. That's why it's just considering this bit of a scalp here, because it's really just chasing it up into this selling range here. So I'm out of the rest of it. And we had a nice little push on the Qs there. So, but as Thor said, we're back up into this area where we had resistance earlier in the trading session. A nice little drop and pull back there on NVIDIA. Might actually push through the VWAP now. We'll see. I'm not in it anymore. Everything's getting into a real choppy trading range here.
So yeah, it's like I'm sandwiched between a intradaily buying range and a monthly selling range, and you can just see it. I just keep getting. Anytime we get near that monthly selling range, we immediately get yoinked. It just completely drops. It's all right. I'm still holding.
Yeah, Amazon's moving up here nicely.
Moving on.
It's one of the stocks that actually is holding on here.
If this trade doesn't work, this will be my last trade on for the day. No more.
Meta, no follow through. This Amazon's got it's got some orders up here at 186, 186.20, 30, 40.
Yeah, we have expiration for futures are going to be starting pretty soon. And that should make things interesting. Probably part of the reason we're chopping around so much now in the market. No news and pending volatility.
Yeah, lack of any real news going on. There's a couple of, like I said, a couple of sell the news events. This Apple started their developers conference. There was a big run up into that, and now it's selling off. Actually, it did a nice. I missed this. Did a 920 on the 920 trade. Is the we have a nice steady trend one way or the other. You stay below or above the 9 EMA, and then you finally break it. If you look at EMA or Apple on a 2-minute chart, finally broke higher, touched the 20 and rejected. So would have been a good short there. Q's rolling over again here.
I know. I thought I was pretty good on that one. I thought I might have had this. I mean, I'm still in it, but it's just every time it tries to go out, it just gets stuck. Let's look at crowd. Y'all keep looking at crowd. I'll go look at crowd. I'll follow the crowd.
Look at crowd. It's not. It's kind of. It had a really big gap up. It must have got a. It must have got an upgrade from somebody.
It's in a higher range.
A gap like that. That was a stock I was looking at. Possibility to for an options trade today, but unfortunately, or some kind of a trade today. Unfortunately, huge gap up. Kind of negated.
Yeah, they were saying it's joining the S&P. That was
okay.
I guess the news. Part of the old S&P 500.
Well, NVIDIA's rolling over again. Nice, perfect VWAP rejection.
Yep, looks like I'm getting out of. I'll probably be out of this position here shortly, from the looks of things. Very close to my break even. If they want to buy here, I would be perfectly okay with that. You can see my break even's right here. I mean, it literally just wicked right down to my break even. It just didn't get me.
That's where they've been stepping in and buying before.
I'm just sitting right on the underneath of a buyer. That's right here. You can do it. You can do it. I feel like Braveheart. Hold the line.
Braveheart.
Hold. They can never take away your freedom. I mean, technically they can. They just flush the price.
Yeah, technically they can, yes.
They can take away their freedom.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, come on, let's go. Buy it. Look at those. Those are some nice buying bubbles. We're getting a little bit of an upward swing on the 50 here. This is just the market's way of giving me hope.
Yeah, possibly.
Slamming down and ruining my dreams.
Tesla's bouncing here now.
How's things over in YouTube Landia? Pretty good. How are you people doing over in YouTube? Thanks for hanging out with us. I hope you guys have been liking these morning sessions. I got to remember to pop over and talk to y'all more. It looks like we got 300 likes. I'm sure most of those were for Carlos and Peter. But I think Brian and I might be responsible for at least 3 or 4 of those. So I appreciate it. So 5 of those now, thanks to whoever just did that. You're the best. I don't even know who you are, but I love you.
Thank you.
So, hey, the survivor. How are you, buddy? Jared Smith in here. Hi, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for the additional little likes we got there. We appreciate you. We're just hyper-focused over here in trade land. So sometimes, especially because I'm not used to the new format, I forget to come over and talk to y'all and hang out. So, but we appreciate you.
For sure. Thanks for joining us. Hasn't been a totally exciting morning. There have been some stuff. There has been stuff moving. NVIDIA is starting to move now. Finally got through the VWAP there.
Keeping our fingers
get
crossed
your-
here on my NQ trade here.
Yeah, I think you might get your rally here.
I mean, that was a good buy. We got some good buying there. So there's a seller right here. So for those of you, if you're looking like this, so anywhere I'm at a 3 or, I start looking for sell. So you can see what our problem is. As you can see here on my chart, look how at R3 on the month for this. So this is basically where our selling range starts. Right? So the higher you get, the more likely this is to sell, basically. So we're sitting here right underneath of like our selling range. So we're trying to break back up in here. If we break up from here, our actual next higher range, which with expirations, we often rally into them. So we could move as high as, 19,471 in through expirations if things really get going. But there's obviously just a really big seller hitting here, and they tanked the price last week. They've created a lot of indecision the past couple of days. And as you can see, we're now trying to push through them and buy through that seller right now. Ooh, that was lovely.
Yeah, just long a little NVIDIA just for this move here. This looks like it's going to go to 120 again. Getting a nice move here. Just sold some.
Oh, yeah. The problem with me for Amazon is too high right now for me for a short. And I know that doesn't make sense, but sometimes you buy high expecting it to go higher. And right now, Amazon is actually in a lower range. So for me, I would have wanted to short it at R3. So having it strongly buy through R3 actually gives me a little less credence to the short on this one. And we have this very large monthly level, 186 and a spot 25 is right up here, which happens to be yesterday's high. So if anything, I'd probably, which wouldn't be a cam play. Well, I mean, it would be a monthly cam play. It'd be looking for maybe more of an interaction up here. But I mean, intradaily wise, good selling spot, but I'm a little concerned with how much buying it got. So we'll see what happens, especially if the market does actually can get out from this pre-market range and get rallying. Could be a thing. If the market shoves back into range, then actually I love that idea. Maybe it sells back down.
Just sold more NVIDIA.
The market worked so hard for that breakout. It'd be amazing just to see it capitulate and drop back down. They're going to come back and test the seller they just bought through and see if they can get more buying off of it. So we need buying here.
Yeah, SPY is at the high of day right now. Back at high of day. Q's at high of day right now. So yeah. All right, well, I've had 2 decent trades on NVIDIA, but it still hasn't been a great day. CRM's green, like that. Do y'all see that Roaring Kitty live stream?
That was amazing.
It was entertaining. I mean, he just sort of rambled on.
I love it. And I mean, I know I don't have to preach to the choir here because everyone who's in here, who's watching Carlos and Peter in the pre-market show, you already know what you're getting. So I got no convincing I'm sure I need to do to y'all. But to the other 500,000 people who are who are spending their time watching that for whatever stock information they were hoping, to get from it, or whatever watch list they were, I don't know what they were. I mean, it was entertaining though. And I kind of came up into trading during that whole previous, roaring kitty, when the whole WSB thing happened in the first part. I was a part of that subreddit. So I mean, it was really interesting seeing all of it kind of coming to fruition, and everything that is, and it's just very funny.
Well, it's funny.
But man, the thing that blew my mind was when you were looking at the YouTube feed, and everyone was waiting, how fast the chat was going, with people just commenting and typing and putting in like little rocket emojis and all kinds of weird stuff. I mean, it literally looked like a tape, like a time in sales. I mean, it was just like just spinning by so fast. I was like, oh my God, I was like, I've never seen anything. I don't think I've ever seen a live stream on YouTube with that many people commenting that quickly before. It was wild.
Yeah, it was crazy. ARM has been on fire, for instance, about 950, just continually getting buyers. It's getting up.
All right, we got to 2 days ago's close. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, still getting some buying here.
I'm gonna move my stop up to 19,012 and spot 0. So basically, because we came back and we supported and bought off of this seller, I don't expect to lose this seller. If we lose this seller, then I have no expectation for us to hold and push. So, and I mean, I'm sitting at about 4R now or a little over 4R on this one. So I'm doing pretty good on this move. So if it comes back now, I'd probably just get stopped out at about 3.5R. So I'll take it. The hotkey I'm using on this one does a 6-to-1 target. So in that 6-to-1 target's right up near the open price.
All right. Yeah. If you've been joining us, please, and you haven't liked and subscribed yet, please do. We're just getting towards the end of our live stream here. Hour into the trading day. It's been a bit choppy, but we are looking like, it looks like we're going to go green on the Qs. Thor will be happy about that.
I sure will be. Come on, let's go, people. I don't got a lot more. If I can get up to around 1945, that'll be it. Be a solid 8R, 9R day. See? That's why you gotta be patient. We were thinking about going out of this thing, maybe only making like 2 or 3R. Now at the rate we're going, we could do pretty good here. Even if it comes down and stops me out now, I'm still gonna make like 6R for the day, and that's all I'm really looking for. That's my daily average is 4 to 6 times my risk. So if I'm risking $120 or $100, I'm looking to make $600 a day, something like that. Pays the bills and lets me take Brian out to the occasional lobster lunch.
All right, I'm still wanting to come down and go for a drive on one of those sandy beaches in your.
I'm ready, man. Jeep's gassed up. I'm waiting for you.
Yeah,
come on down.
In the Jeep.
You might want to wait a couple months though. It is hot as fire down here right now.
Is it, eh?
Yeah, we pulled high 90s yesterday. With our humidity is like that's like walking around in a wet sauna.
Yeah, that is hot. What was the temperature?
High 90s.
90s, and was it?
If you're a little more where I live, because I'm like, you can throw a stone and hit the beach from where I'm at. We get that the breeze coming off the Atlantic. We get that Spanish east to west breeze that's coming off the coming across. So we were still in the low 90s even with the breeze. I mean, it was cooking.
Wow. That's a hot.
It is a very hot.
All right. Well, 7:30. We're gonna cut things off here. So on YouTube,
Absolutely.
have yourself a great day. It was not that. It wasn't an easy trading day. There were some movers, but we managed to eke out a little bit of a green day. Thor, thanks for coming on, joining the party.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. We like to hang, and hey, maybe not a spectacular day, but whenever we're hanging out, the Prophet of Profit and I, we tend to always make some money. So we'll work it out, still holding. But I appreciate everybody in YouTube. So great hanging out with all of y'all today. Thank you for all those additional likes. You let Brian and I earn a couple of them, which we appreciate. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I hope you all have a great one.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
And I just hit my target.
All right.